Malacca, a well-known gastronomical hub for food lovers. The multiracial population lives and works in harmony, yet preserving the traditions and cultures unique to each race. Malacca is a small, friendly city that has many eye-catching sights and attractive modern establishments. In fact, the city is a mix of old and new. Historical establishments and old shops stand side by side with shopping complexes and modern offices. Tourism is a booming industry in Malacca, which leads to the benefit of the business communities, such as hotels, cafes, restaurants, bars, and shop lots. In 2008, UNESCO listed Malacca as a World Heritage Site. The city has many beautiful attractions, all clearly representing the great history of the city. Jalan Bendahara, formerly known as Wolferstan Road, was once the place to be in town, as at the corner of the street stood the once prominent Capitol Theatre. The site is situated at the junction of Jalan Bendahara and Jalan Munshi Abdullah. Before it was a cinema, advertisements from 1936 proclaimed this as the finest sound house in Malaya, with a modern lounge and bar. Opened in 1936, it was touted as Malacca's one and only most up-to-date Palace de Dance. It then became a cinema in the late 50s. It was an entertainment hub for the locals. The cinema showcased a variety of Indian, Chinese, Malay, and Hindi movies.
就知道它只是一间戏院罢了咯，没有什么。
你有去过很多次？
好几次了啦。
有，我每次去的。每次有去。是很喜欢去嘛，因为那个戏好看，我就去看。
给华人也是。
哦，有啊，他们有印度，有什么？
它全部都有。
然后这一带方圆1公里内，大概有将近10间电影院啊，所以说每次假期啊之类的话，人潮都往这里集中。你知道卖吃的吗？有加贝多、沙爹煎肉，还有个加贝多、纳西勒玛。当初他们都是在这边附近摆三轮车卖吃的，不过他搬去店里面还是用加贝多这个。
Sadly, it is now a shell of a building, roofless, empty, and derelict. No doubt a cherished repository of distant teenage memories for aging Malaccans. It was said that the abandonment was due to a combination of youth migrating from Malacca in the 1970s to the 1980s to look for work in Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, or overseas. At the same time, the worldwide trend of old movie theaters closing because of high costs and competition from multiplex cinemas. As the years pass, the once celebrated street has now become a road that people overlooked and forgotten, from a note point to a no point, merely just people passing by to get from point A to point B. In order to revive the spirit and memories of the place, site studies were conducted to aid in figuring out the site's potential in relation to the present day. Based on our site analysis, we discovered that our site is potentially strategic. It rests on a primary vehicular circulation connected by the junctions from 3 different sites, and the main tourist pathway to the attraction spots located further down Jalan Bendahara. There are many car parks along the side of the road provided for the visitors. There are also secondary and tertiary circulation such as back lanes and alleyways used as shortcuts by bikers, cyclists and local pedestrians. Hence, the back lane in our proposed site could be a potential route to attract more local people to the site. There are public buses passing back and forth the site in every 15 minutes, as well as taxis, easing the transportation for tourists and its local community. The site is visible from 3 directions. First from the hotel district, next from the old shop lots, and lastly from the back alleys. As the site is visible from many hostels, it is definitely able to attract tourists. Furthermore, the site is directly visible from the shop lots opposite and behind. Locals that live above shop lots can access from the main road and back alleys easily within walking distance. The landmarks identified are in close proximity with travel distances within 10 to 15 minutes, and their notable features can guide new visitors or tourists to walk to our site. In addition, we discovered that there is an existing local community based on the activities happening around the site. The macrosite consists of mainly commercial and residential districts, with microsite located along the business shop lots mostly run by the middle-aged locals. Along the street, there are several nodes being affected by activities. On the site itself, activities are kept at low to medium density and mostly happen in the back alley, making it a node due to its strategic location for food stalls and eateries or a gathering area throughout different times of the day. The locals will usually just pass by the site to get to their destination. In support to this, based on the sun path analysis, we can see that the existing site shades aids in business opportunities for different periods of time, and the community was sharing the alley accordingly. As for the upper north part of the site, locals make use of the open space beside the river to run events, thus creating gathering spaces at the same time and contribute to the medium human density. The highest human density occurs at the lower part of the site, as there are a variety of happenings such as the Indian business with a combination of local residences, creating a lively and active area throughout the day. The target user groups that we decided to focus on are mainly the tourists and local community. Tourism is the main industry contributing to Malacca's economy because of its status as a historical city. Malacca prevailed and was ranked 28 out of 45 destinations. From 1999 to 2012, a total of 85.2 million tourists visited Malacca, with an average increase of nearly 20% per annum. Recently, 75.7% of tourists who visited Malacca are domestic, while the remaining 24.3% are foreign. Our site can be an asset to Malacca in becoming an attraction that will increase the economy. However, in comparison to our site, locals carry more weightage due to their residence and lifestyle, while the amount of tourists with roughly only 1/5 of the population, as they tend to linger more around attraction spots. Besides that, the locals mostly consist of only senior citizens and adults, as teenagers prefer going to the nearby developed areas for entertainment. With that said, the proposed architecture positions should attract teenagers and would somehow marry the locals and tourists together without affecting the existing lively community of the site. As we all know, Malacca is rich with cultures such as art, food, heritage, and handmade crafts. Also, the importance of spreading knowledge through workshops, performing arts, exhibitions, and community sharing is the key to sustaining the valuable customs and tradition. By combining Malacca's unique and rich culture and education, it acts as a catalyst to form an urban cultural village for the people of Malacca, globetrotters, and the future generation. As previously mentioned, the site is located at the intersection of Jalan Bendahara and Jalan Munshi Abdullah, making it strategic with constant traffic flow and is fairly visible. Being an old prominent landmark, it carries the essence of Art Deco architecture of the whole street. Therefore, it is essential to retain the old facade to perpetuate the memories of the place. As a result, the site has potential to re-establish as a new landmark. Looking into the macro site, the Capitol Theatre is nestled within the golden triangle of the urban development consisting of hotel districts, cultural heritage such as Jonker Street and the Dutch Square, as well as commercial developed areas comprising of shopping malls and retail shops. Our site lost its ability to gather people over time. Thus, the proposed program should be an urban acupuncture that will make use of the ease of accessibility to assemble people once more. With the site having less development and significant architecture compared to the neighboring districts, it brings about strategic visibility from an elevated level. Therefore, we can maximize the views of these retained buildings. By proposing skylights, the views towards open skies can be captured as well. The building along Jalan Bendahara has an average floor level of 3 to 4 stories. Hence, with a built-up height of 4 stories at our site, it allows people to see the macro site at the upper floor. A wise man once said, "To give life to the past, make it relevant to the present."